Grand Day Gems and Jewels, gods and goddesses. I am your host, Corinthia Peoples, and this is Power in My Pivot. Power in My Pivot is a live broadcast where we discuss how ordinary people, such as you and myself, become extraordinary in our own right through the power of pivoting, turning and changing and moving our lives from the prescribed direction of mass societal roles. This is a show for men and women, kings and queens, dukes and duchesses, and just everyday people. The time has come for us to control the narrative and set the stage through leading by example. On today's edition of Power in My Pivot, we will explore the intimate details of what it truly means to be a forerunner in places and spaces where there are none, where you are the only one, the first and the extreme minority. I've coined this edition of Power in My Pivot, Daring to Be the Only, making a path where there is none. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. Welcome back. Power in My Pivot is a discussion where we unpack the details of our pivot, our transformation, whether it's voluntarily, circumstantially, or just out of sheer survival. It's a talk of our soul's journey and our evolution as humans. Welcome all to the room. This is an end to participatory dialogue. So feel free to drop comments in the chat and we'll chat you up. And at this time, please like our Corinthia Peoples YouTube channel, as well as give us a thumbs up or a heart or whatever you're feeling. We would love to feel your energy as well. And thank you for all those who've already done so. Our special guest today is Jonathan Robinson. Jonathan is a Southern California native. At the tender age of 2 years old, he was sponsored by the Valencia House of BMX, where he crafted the art of BMX racing. Ranking 5th in the nation, he retired from BMX racing at the age of 5 years old. Jonathan began to explore the world of ice sports at the age of 5 by dabbling into snowboarding, where he discovered his love for ice hockey. He has played in the rinks of the LA Kings, the Anthem Ducks, the Anaheim Ducks, and drafted to the WHL in Canada. He has recently been professionally training. Jonathan's choice words to live by are cherish the blessings. Welcome to the room, our guest, Jonathan Robinson. Hi, Jonathan.
How are you? Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking out time in your busy schedule, because I know you're super busy making life happen.
I am on the road right now.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, and for you to do this interview while you're on the road, so I just want to tell everybody, so if Jonathan starts to onboard where he's needing to onboard, just stay with us. It's going to be like a moving interview. Yes. Beautiful. I'm glad you're doing
Of
this even though.
course, of course. Thank you.
That's determination, Jonathan. So, Jonathan, let me
Yes.
just start to ask you, my first question. Jonathan, in doing some research on you and watching some of your industry videos, right? And some of your press interviews, you spoke what was consistent in your talks was opportunity, gratitude, and conflicts in the industry of ice sports, right? So can you
Correct.
bring us into your world as a young Black and gifted young man in the industry of hockey and ice sports?
Yes, of course. What would you? Where would you like to start? There's a lot.
Right. So
There's a
just
lot.
bring us into again, your common thread was opportunity, gratitude, and conflicts in the industry that you had to maneuver
Yes.
through. So can you just bring us into where were the opportunities? How were you grateful? And what were some of the conflicts?
So a lot of the opportunities really they come from uh, a lot of them are very creative. The opportunities are the opportunities in games all the time to be able to make yourself stand out from the crowd. Not just being a Black player, but being a hockey player as well. Being able to control the game, speed the game up, slow the game down, really is creating opportunity. But at the same time, the opportunities are there from how many people are in the stands, to having no people in the stands, to having the cameras on. So it really it's up to the person and just what you want out of the situation, honestly. Yeah.
What were you grateful for with this experience? Because this is not a typical experience for, and I have to bring your race into it. And I know for you to get where you got, for you at the level that you reached, you had to at some point say I'm a man, and not
Right.
say I'm a Black man, but I'm a man, right? So,
Right.
but
But
it's
being a Black man in the situation is definitely, I apologize to cut you off, but being a Black man in the situation over just being a man in the situation, there are a lot of roadblocks, there's a lot of opportunity for failure as well. So, and being able to just be mentally strong, being able to understand and break up situations and be able to kind of still keep your composure and not be easily led by a negative figure. Honestly, that just kind of will sum that up.
Okay. I understand that. I understand that very well. So, hockey, I've never really been into hockey. I've seen it. And when I did my research on you, I had to kind of, delve in to your world. So I watched a clip of you in the rink. And it looks real intense, right? Y'all be fighting and slamming each other and, have this little puck, and you got to have skills, and you on ice. It's like, so my question to you is, did you fuse intuition and energy on the ice?
Like, was it creative on the ice? Yeah, definitely. And that comes from, I would say that just comes from passion, the IQ of the game, putting those two together, really, and then with a purpose, especially being able to see the game happening, and being able to see that the game is such a joyful moment, joyful sport. To be able to make it joyful for everybody, but at the same time keep it competitive. That is with that you create opportunities. Literally, that erase energy. You can defeat energy. It's a power that you have, just as a not just an athlete. It's in all. It's in a lot of different positions, but yes, you are definitely able to infuse that.
Infuse energy. Interesting.
Yes.
And intuition, right? I would think you would use your intuition in such a sport. I mean, in every sport, but we're talking
Yeah.
about hockey in particularly now. So I would think you would use your intuition as well. Do you ever recall a time using your intuition and it worked? It helped you?
I would say it just keep going, not just playing the sport, but just being within the sport. Um, Intuition to be coaching, intuition to be literally having my own gear, and to be able to take the game of hockey and put it in places where it never existed, and to have it be breathing. Um, it definitely reaches a little bit more than just playing, honestly. But yeah, all the
Yeah.
time.
So who in your family? I mean, because you started off this like trek that's not a trek of typical black experiences. The typical black boy doesn't go off and BMX race. You know, we got a hoop. You know, most of the time it's just like, you know, basketball or football, some tennis, whatever, you know. But who was it? Who cultivated your sportsmanship and saw to place you in these spaces?
Definitely my parents. Definitely my parents. They I mean, my parents mixed themselves, kind of coming up with me, and then with the discipline that's there. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. So it was. They knew exactly. They knew exactly what they made, and they knew exactly how to work it. So I've been enjoying it. It's like breathing, for real. It is breathing.
Wow. So you said they knew exactly what they made, and what did you say?
Exactly. They know exactly how to use it.
And how to use
it. Yeah. So if you can birth a tool, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I always say that people today, I always tell, like, you know, young girls and even women my age, that your children is your retirement plan if you raise them.
Of course.
Yeah, if you show them and show them the way to go, they could definitely be your retirement plan.
Exactly.
Right. So it was your parents. Very interesting. So I guess they saw you, or they wanted to cultivate that piece in you. And you never bucked it. Did you ever go against the path that they wanted you to go down?
Oh, of course. I'm definitely raised on the beach, basically the beach in the city of Los Angeles. So just definitely being one of not liking rules, and being raised by my dad was a military guy, combat cameraman, but so that discipline.
He was a combat cameraman?
Yes.
Wow. So he took footage of combat in
Yep.
in the military.
He did. Yes, he did.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's yeah, what I would say my own mindset is I do fight kind of to be disciplined under certain strict rules, especially playing ice hockey. It's a certain lanes are tough, but I've seen to make it work.
Yes. So Jonathan, you know, in your bio, at the age of 2, your parents started to push you in a particular, direction, right? They clearly had a plan for you. Just like it's clear at the age of 2, So you entered notoriety and fame at a very young age because you won several trophies, and like in your bio, you were 5th in the nation. So my question to you is, with that kind of notoriety at such a young age, did it develop your personality? Did you develop a personality from that notoriety?
I mean, honestly, I'm such a sports guy that I didn't. I meet people all the time, so as far as and being a coach, just being a coach now, thinking back, I don't think that I've suffered anything or anything really changed. I think that just me just being who I am. I'm very from travel experiences. I have realized that I am a little bit, but I think a little bit different. I have no ceiling, so thinking with no ceilings in every situation. Yeah, I might bump heads a little bit, but yeah, I don't think I'm famous. I've raced a lot of people. I've played sports with a lot of people, but I played in front of crowds. But yeah, I think I'm pretty normal.
So you don't claim fame, but you claim notoriety.
Yeah, I've definitely been noticed for my efforts.
Hey, that's what's up. So, Jonathan, what's your most, again, I want to just bring us back to what this is all about. This is a show of pivoting, how everyday people shift their lives and change and be the best that they can be with what we have, what we've been given, right? This is a show that is geared to inspire and tell the story, giving you a platform to tell your story, right? So I want to hear, what's the most memorable moment you had in your career, and what was the most miserable moment? Let's start with memorable first.
Most memorable moment. I would say most memorable moment. I gotta say, my first draft year, getting drafted in the WHL. It was just playing against one of my favorite goalies, Holtby. He was at my draft. He was at my draft camp on the team, and I had just came down my first shot on him, and it was my first shot as a pro athlete, period. And I just kind of my right top shelf glove side. It's normally the goalie's strongest save point, but went right past his glove. Beautiful goal. So wasn't for any money, wasn't for anything, but it was just that moment. My first time being on the ice as a professional athlete. I can never forget that. Not super crazy, but it does feel good inside. Probably the most tough moment of ice hockey. Ice hockey is a tough sport. It's a rough sport. So if it's not rough, then you can't love it. But most tough sport, I think it was a fight. I had a fight during a game, but I was on the bench. I was on the other team's bench. I had hit somebody, and I had a couple other hands had pulled me over to the bench, but I flipped over to their bench, ended up fighting the team on their bench, and got kicked out of the game. But that could be a good moment as well. But just from could definitely be a good moment as well. But just going from play to a mosh pit fight, that's about yeah.
So do you have a miserable moment?
I would say that's the most miserable moment, just because that was. I make it seem like I have a lot of fun, but that was off of straight hatred. That was off of it got kind of bad that game, on and off the ice. So yeah, that's probably something that I would just not want to see at all within the sport, at any sports game or within any sporting facility, anything. I think if anything gets past the court, the ice, the field, and you can't leave the game and see the other person later on, then it's not worth that, honestly. So yeah, if it gets to that point, then that's just kind of the worst. Broken ankles, pucks to the face, that happens all the time.
Punch to the face.
A puck to the face. Someone takes a shot, hits somebody in the face, they're bleeding everywhere. That happens. If somebody tries to jump over somebody, cuts them in the neck, that happens. That's normal.
See that, ice hockey for me is like football. And even wrestling, kicking, it's just
a little bit different injuries.
Yeah, it's violent.
Yeah, it definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So which brings me to the next piece. You got to be built a certain way to play the sports. You got to be built a certain way to do, football and other things, right? Especially ice hockey, for sure. So in reading your bio, Jonathan, and finding out, what were some of the things that you went through, I uncovered that you were faced with a few disappointments, right? And this is the real, right? Mm-hmm. This is keeping it 100. You were faced with a couple of disappointments that could have knocked many people off their game. You were cut from a few teams, and you encountered some injuries, some serious injuries. Did you ever feel like giving up?
I never felt like, honestly, I never felt like giving up. Now the timing of the injuries and certain injuries, I am hard on myself. So between ice hockey and football, I do love both sports. Ice hockey, I was really wanting to get drafted to the NHL. So my drafting to the NHL, I had separated my shoulder. Now that my injuries are off of my own instinct of, I would say, just kind of clowning, but of kind of playing big. I did end up hurting myself with separating my shoulder. Kind of knocked myself out the draft for that year, but I really wanted to kind of switch over and go to school and kind of give football a little run as well, try to get drafted as well. Ended up messing up myself again. Just kind of, I like the motto. I also live by the motto as well as cherish the blessing. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. If you got something down, then kind of keep it simple, because it's when you're doing really good and you kind of just want to hot dog around a little bit too much, show up a little bit too much, and that's gonna happen. But
so that's what I was gonna ask you. What were some pivotal life tools that you acquired and used to overcome, the times where things didn't go the way you wanted them to go? What's some life tools? You said KISS. I like to say keep it simple, smarty.
Sure, that's real nice. That's real nice.
Right? Because sometimes when you smart, you can overthink, or just keep it simple, smarty. Because you think you're smart. You're smart.
Very true.
What's like not wanting something, and to be injured, and you can kind of see the flash of it maybe not happening.
Mm-hmm.
That could be
true. It definitely it's a vision. It's definitely a vision that can put you back a little bit. But you just gotta be completely realistic with yourself. If you are injured, you really do have to really find out what you have injured and what the precautions are, the correct precautions to move forward. And that goes with anything. If you do get knocked off your game with anything, now it's not as easy said as done. But if you got it in you, if you want it bad enough, then it is easier said as done. So you just gotta breathe. You gotta find out what keeps you level headed. We're always thinking about that time clock in the back of our head. We always got it scheduled out to, well, if this didn't happen, then this will be going on right now. But at the same time, you can't get lost in that. What's going on right now that's what's going on right now. So how do you make what's going on right now? How do you add that to your schedule? So really, that's just
Mm-hmm. So there's a such thing. Wait, before I go there, I just want to commend you for having bounce back power.
Thank you.
For not giving up, because I know, there's no prescription to life, right? And just listening to my research of you're still a young man, and you've gone through some life.
Mm-hmm.
Life. So there's there's a sports stereotype.
Yes, there is.
Right? So
yes, there is.
Black men are known to be basketball players, football players, but not hockey players or rowers, on a rowing team, and then there's these other kinds, or even tennis players. And then, so we have I gotta bring up race, because we have some Black men like Tiger Woods who broke the barriers of golf. And then we have Venus Serena who broke the barriers of tennis, right?
Right.
So how do most people typically respond to you, white and Black, when you tell them that that your sport is ice hockey? That that you've competed in that sport.
I haven't used it as a pickup line, but I have used it to keep myself out of trouble. So it's I get a lot of what?
Keep yourself out of trouble with that.
It gives me about like a 5-second throw off. A 5-second throw off. Like, oh, you play ice hockey? Hold on, let me look at you. Like wow. So I get a lot. All great responses. People do love the fact that I do play ice hockey. I've gotten a couple people that kind of it touched them a little bit, but those are the people that make the game good. So
wonderful. Jonathan, what's your non-negotiables? What's a non-negotiable for you? What's your trigger?
Oh. My women, my food, and the things I purchase. Non-negotiables. Those non-negotiable.
What are they, Jonathan? I'm sorry.
My woman, my food, and the things I purchase.
Oh,
what I like to what I earn what I earn what I work for.
those are non-negotiables. You don't play with them. Those are your triggers.
Non-negotiable, yes. Family, yes.
So
But
when,
that's good.
yeah, okay, that's honest. That's very honest. When and where do you feel the safest and most loved? When and
At home for sure. At home and with my loved ones for sure. Yeah.
that's when you feel the safest and the most loved.
Yeah, it's in the hockey rink. But I do as strange as that sounds, I do feel the safest in the hockey rink.
You feel safe in the hockey rink?
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I do. I don't know. It's now it could be just a empty hockey rink. I'm just just a hockey rink, and yeah, I could turn it into a straight neighborhood bunker for real.
Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting.
For real.
This is you can turn it into a neighborhood. So you know, we all have our times where we're like, oh, this feels like a cozy little blanket, right? Like you can, you know, it's like where you can take your worries and your stress to that thing. Where do you take your worries and your stress?
I handle mine through just through taking care of myself, taking care of just knowing what your blessings are, and spending most of my time cherishing those. We can't control everything. Things are gonna happen in life that we definitely not gonna like. But we really cannot spend time in our own minds too much with things that we know we gotta move on from. But at the same time, we can't spend too much time with things that are too good either. I just kind of being able to process that things are going to happen, but more things are going to happen. There's always more to come. Just kind of, but also knowing how to take care of something so that it lasts throughout the journey as well. Those are the main points that kind of hit me with that, honestly. I'm not sure if that makes too much sense, but yeah.
It was very philosophical, and you seem like a very philosophical individual. I guess you would definitely possess different kind of characteristics, having the background that you've been exposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say to a young boy who has big dreams of becoming? What would you say to him?
I would definitely say to keep working on it. Always have your end goal in mind. Every day something can be done. It does not cost money to get something done. It just costs the willpower to want to do and get yourself together, to get yourself situated to make what you want to make happen. Spend time, break it down, and don't be ashamed of anything. You are who you are. If you can't accept who you are, then you won't be able to accept who you can and will become. So, and stay in school. Stay in school for as long as you can.
So you think who you become? I'm sorry.
I was saying, my bad. I was saying for stay in school for as long as you can. Go to school for what you need. Yes. But yes. Say again. For who you will become.
Yeah. So you mentioned know who you are, so you'll know who you will become. It sounds like there's a continuum. Like, so do you think a person is able to become without fully knowing who they are?
No. Well, right. That's what I was saying. Know who you are, so that you are able to so know who you are, so you know what you want to become. Uh, so if you are like basically, if you are already who you want to be, then this would not apply to you. But if you are basically, let's say, going through school, you're about to go through school, you're about to enroll through college. In the college, you're going to be different than who you were going into school. But when you sign up for college, if you don't sign up for the classes in the areas that you have weaknesses, where you need to learn, where you want to learn, the things that you need to learn to be able to move forward in your path of what you want to move forward in, then you won't be able to. That won't happen. You got to know. Okay, I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about mechanics, so I'm gonna go to school about mechanicking, so I can open up a dealership later on. So that's just know who you are today, so that tomorrow you can be that better version of yourself.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So know where you have strengths and weaknesses. So whatever your
Correct.
goals, you can cultivate yourself to get to that goal.
Correct.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So what would you say to the young Black boy who has visions of becoming?
Everything I just said, but on top of that, go harder and stand proud and love every second of it. Love every second of it. If you making somebody mad doing something you love that, because that's them saying blatant to your face, you were doing something I cannot do. So just don't. But at the same time, don't get involved in anything that is negative. If you feel that spirit pulling you up towards where you want to go, anything that you feel pulling you back, don't even bother. Don't even hesitate. We got a lot of ancestors that have paved the road, that have gone through a lot of things that we didn't have to go through. So we going through what we got to go through to be able to go to pave the road for everybody to come. So yeah, it's an amazing journey, and you're not gonna love anything more than this, for real, other than everything about it. And yeah.
Wow.
Sure.
So interesting. Do you think you tend to always do things that are like out the box, out of the stereotype? Is that like how you kind of push for, or that's just
Natural.
just by chance?
I definitely have an eye for finding things that are kind of outside the barriers, but at the same time, I'm not doing everything. I'm not doing everything. I'm definitely it's definitely something that I pick I've chosen what I felt my purpose is. I've met a lot of people that are breaking barriers, breaking the stereotype, and expanding everything across the board. So I feel like the best way I can help in just my overall purpose, my overall being, is doing exactly what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, and playing my role. So I know I'm able to help out in a lot of areas. I do have a lot of different skill sets, but for me to really make a print in the present and in the future, just as like the past was done, I'm just putting my all into this. So I'm putting my all into this. I'm double channeling it, triple channeling it.
Yeah. So what is it? What's on the horizon for you, Jonathan? What's on the horizon for you?
Hopefully.
What are we aiming for these in these like new times. You know, this is a very auspicious time, yet it's also a really great time to be on the planet and to be able to manifest. So what's on the horizon, Jonathan Robinson, coming forward?
The horizon coming forward. Well, gosh, I've been helping a lot. Not just helping, but I've been working as well. But I've been really trying to build a network that I've been really just trying to build a network of a lot of people that really have the same vision of being able to build the community, expand the community, not try to just take power, but to show that bond is powerful. To show that we are basically I've been doing a lot of production, a lot of groundwork with ice hockey as well. But to get ice hockey out, production is the best way. I am as well birthed from production, so to be able to be able to give hockey the inside look, it really needs to be creative. So I've been really just trying to figure out how to create everything, create the full look, so the people can connect, the people can want to connect, and it can grow. So yeah.
So you're wanting to expand the access to, if I heard you correctly, you want to expand the access to the rink, to skating, to ice hockey?
Yes, I want to expand the culture. So
to who? Who would you like
to everybody. I want to expand the culture to everybody. I honestly do. I believe we have the Olympic Games, but at the same time, the Olympics should not be the only way that somebody can that somebody can play another ethnicity from another part of the world. Honestly, I feel like if the other Kings, basically, the other Kings, just the AHL team, the Ontario team, congratulations to them. But we just had our first 3 black players on a hockey line play together. In 2021, my outlook on that is just it's amazing. But I honestly feel like in 2021 we shouldn't be celebrating that. I feel like in 2021 we should be able to have a whole black hockey team playing in the NHL. And the fact that that's not going on right now, and the fact that we just now 2 weeks ago celebrating that we have 3 black players playing together on one line in one game. It really just kind of drives me more to find out how to make my own team in the NHL, what I got to do. So that it's a lot of work, but that is honestly more so my outlook on everything. Being able to go out and find out where hockey is not at and bring different cultures to the game. Because I played it my whole life, and to be playing the game my whole life, and to be from California, where it's such a melting pot, and there's such everything here.
Yeah, there is everything in California. Every single thing. Absolutely. I think that is a great aspiration. I think it's a great aspiration. And to, like you said, to only now in 2021 see 4 black players on one hockey team, you've resounding what's been said so many times, that it's too bad that we are still where we are as a race and as a nation.
Yeah.
and we should be so much further. But I guess, does that tell you how much work you have to do and where your work lies?
Oh, it definitely does. It definitely does. And I'm fully ready for it. I'm not sure if the table that I will sit at is fully ready for it. I hope they are, because I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Sit down. Um, and yeah, yeah. I'm just ready for it. I'm looking for it. I'm working on everything that I can see with my own eyes and everything what I feel like I can do with my own intuition. I am looking for help. I am looking for the table. I am looking for everybody that wants to get involved. Um, I am down to help anybody that is involved. And yeah, so I'm trying. Yes.
Right? You said you're trying to what?
I just said I was trying to yes. I really want this. I really want this. I really want to help work on getting this time moved forward because I've had a lot of experiences through the game, and to have certain areas of the game just to be kind of. I honestly kind of took a little bit of offense to the fact that we're just now celebrating 3 black hockey players being able to play together because I've played with I've been on the ice with a lot of other black hockey players, and so it does kind of hurt that vision is there, but it feels good that the opportunity to be a part of this right now is here.
There you go. That's beautiful. I like your smoke. I like your vision. Definitely. I like the fact that you are going for change, that you want to make a change. You want to leave, sounds like you want to leave a legacy of change.
I do.
Jonathan, I'm going to call off. I do this thing at the end of the show for some of my guests. And I'm going to call off a series of names. And I want you to tell me the first thought that comes to mind as I call off these series of names, okay?
Okay.
All right. The first name is William P. Fawley II. He's the owner of the Las Vegas Knights.
Okay.
What comes to mind when you hear the name William P. Fawley owns the team?
They got some good energy. I like their energy for real. They kind of I think of that team. I'm just always they got some nice energy. They got the way that they came out and they started was strong. They definitely still have there's a lot of opportunity there. If I get over to Vegas right now and talk to them, I'm there. That's a city that needs a lot of energy. That needs a lot of muscle. If they are, that's a playoff team.
Okay, so I have to tell you. Team. Okay, so Jonathan, I have to tell you the rules of this again. Okay?
Yes.
When I say the name, I just want 1 to 3 words. And I talked about the team, which is good, that's a good thing. But I asked you about the owner. I said William P. Fawley II. Give me 3 words when you think again.
Strong right arm.
Robinson.
Say again?
Jackie Robinson.
Legend, the great.
Bob Marley.
420. Don't worry about a thing.
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou?
Yes.
Oh, fighting.
Maya Angelou.
Fighting.
Huh?
Whooping everybody. Fighting, whooping everybody.
Giving everybody a whooping.
Everybody.
That's funny. Jonathan, this has been great. Where can people find you? If someone wants to find you and contact you, where can they find you?
So right now, I do have my Instagram going on, my COTB Hockey Instagram. I do have a website, JonathanRobinsonPhotography.weebly.com. That does have most of my hockey footage at being in front of the camera, along with some teams, as well as my YouTube channel. Everybody go like and subscribe my YouTube channel, COTB Hockey. That is where more so you will see everything I'm dealing with hockey. Not just me playing, but very soon you'll see the little guys, little girls out there, coaching, sticks, gear, everything.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for joining the show and sharing pieces of yourself and of your journey. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Time. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you. You sprung up at the right, perfect moment to do this segment of the show. I appreciate you.
Man.
Can you hang out backstage? I'm gonna tell you bye before you go. Okay?
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Oh, child. You can't make this stuff up. You just cannot make this stuff up. You know, this is an example of the excellence that we spring from. The determination that runs through our veins. The tenacity to be great that we are, right? You can't make this stuff up. You just cannot. It's just too phenomenal. That was a great interview. I want to thank Jonathan for being on the show again. Jonathan Robinson, thanks again. So we don't only speak about the problem, but we also render the solution. This week's health tip is be open to a new thought of who you are and what you can experience. Because change and self-realization is on the other side of the statement, I am. We can fill in our own I ams. Change happens, just I am. You fill in the blank and move in the direction in which you truly want to go, not which of the direction that you think you should go, or that you were told you should go, or limiting yourself, right? Jonathan mentioned that he had no ceiling, that he doesn't cap himself off. I thought that was so amazing, because a lot of us have ceilings, but we can easily take off the lid, baby, and have no ceiling. What inspired me to do this edition of Power in My Pivot was a conversation that I had about Black people living non-traditional Black lives, which in my opinion is a limiting belief. You know, I heard someone say that belief systems stands for BS. I challenge each one of us to open our lids and reach towards the things that we were told that we could not be, and the lives that we were told that we could not have. Please, everyone, please, I urge you to know that you are worthy of all the juiciness that you desire, and to know that you know that you are capable and able to move the needle of our prescribed picturing. Power in My Pivots is a show, a live broadcast show that happens every single Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Kings and queens, let's pivot from basic to bona fide. And always, always remember that nobody is better than you, and you're no better than nobody. Because there is power in your pivot. Until next time.